Good afternoon, teacher. My name is Kimberly Famania. The subject to be present are the most important characteristics of the Sun and Mercury. Question 1. Formation of the Sun. About 46 billion years ago, a gigant cloud of dust and gas known as the solar nebula collapsed in on itself. A vegan deformed what will eventually become the Sun and the planets of our Sun systems. Question 2. What kind of a star is the Sun? The Sun is what is canonized my sequence star, that is to say, a sphere composite mainly of two gases, hydrogen and helium, in which nuclear fusion is present. It is its way of generating energy. Nuclear fusion is the process by which two lighter atomic nuclei join or fuse to produce an hybrid atomic nucleus. Question 3. The Sun turns. That's right, and it has different twists. At the equator, the Sun rotates as every 25 days, but at its poles, it rotates on its axis every 13 on 100 Earth days. We can know this about our star thanks to the observation of the movement of sunspots and all those phenomena that take place on its surface. Question 4. Its average distance from Earth is equivalent to 8 minutes, and the speed of light, the time it takes for light from the Sun to reach Earth. Mercury. Question 1. What is Mercury? The first planet in the Sun system receives the name of Mercury from its proximity to the and the smallest of Cal, located in a small orbit around it. Question 2. How is the planet Mercury? It is a rocky planet about which little was known until the visit of Mariner 10. Probe was visited in the their Thames Bedwem and obtained telescope and fluoroscope imaging. Question 3. Sun water. Mercury climate is extreme on bad cycles. They face opposite to the Sun, reach temperatures of around 437 or 413. Widely is hidden phase drops minus on under and 663. Question 4. Magnitude of Mercury. Mercury has a magnitude whose origin is unknown, although it has a metal core similar to that of the Earth. The magnetic atmosphere was revealed by studying the behavior of the solar sun when against the planet. Thank you.
The planet Venus. Venus is the second closest planet to the Sun and is very similar in size to Earth. An important characteristic is that its atmosphere reflects a large amount of light. This makes it the second brightest body in the night sky, behind the Moon. Venus is so bright that in the right conditions can be seen even in daylight and with the naked eye. Its mass and internal structure are similar to those of our planet. These similarities have often been said to be Earth's sister planets. Still, it is also important to say that there are many aspects in which the two planets are completely different, including the properties of their atmosphere. Along with Mercury, Earth, and Mars, it is one of the inner planets of the solar system. Due to their composition, these planets are also known as rocky or terrestrial planets. It is a planet known since ancient times. It is the second largest inner planet after Earth. It takes 225 Earth days to complete one revolution around the Sun. This is the duration of a Venusian year. However, it takes even more time to complete one revolution on its axis, namely 243 Earth days. These two properties, together with the fact that it rotates in the same direction as clockwise, mean that during a Venusian year only a little less than 2 solar days passed. That is, 2 day-night cycles. Although it is not the closest planet to the Sun, it is the hottest. This is due to the gases in its atmosphere that cause much more severe greenhouse effects than on Earth. As a consequence of this effect, its surface reaches temperatures of approximately 470 degrees Celsius. Venus and Mercury are the only planets in the solar system that do not have any natural satellites. Due to its brilliance, ancient civilizations associate it with beauty, femininity, and love. In Roman mythology, the goddess of beauty and love was Venus. In her honor, the Romans baptized this planet with her name. The position of Venus in the sky varies throughout the year depending on its position in its orbit. There are periods when Venus is only visible for a few hours at sunrise, while during other periods it is only visible at dusk. The phenomenon made some ancient civilizations believe that they were actually two different celestial bodies. One of the most important properties of the atmosphere of Venus is its high density. This makes the atmospheric pressure on its surface 90 times higher than on Earth. This is the pressure equivalent to being under a water column 1,000 kilometers high. Another consequence of this high atmospheric pressure is that any body that enters its atmosphere disintegrates practically immediately. As a result, only large bodies can hit its surface. Earth, the planet of life. Talking about the Earth involves an indefinite number of words and an impressive amount of time. Earth is a home to living things and was formed more than 4,500 million years ago, and its size is similar to that of Venus. It is a planet without rocks but with a natural satellite, the Moon. The Earth orbits the Sun, the stars that provide the ideal level of light and heat for life. The translational movement is what it performs around the Sun in an almost circular orbit. A day on Earth lasts 24 hours. Now, 1 Earth year lasts 365.26 days. The time it takes to travel one complete orbit around the Sun. It is a tremendously active and constantly changing planet. Geological structure of the Earth. The crust is the thinnest and most superficial layer in which sediments are found. The mantle is the layer under the crust and is made up of dense rocks. It represents about 83% of the volume of the Earth. The core, for its part, is the deepest layer and apparently contains iron, nickel, and sulfur. The core is the origin of the Earth's magnetic field, which can be destroyed by the solar wind. Atmosphere of the Earth. The troposphere is the layer closest to the ground and the densest. It is true that other planets also have atmosphere, but the terrestrial one is the only breathable one, and thanks to it living beings maintain life. Air is made up of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% other gases. There are millions and millions of beings that live and perform functions that together balance the Earth. Most of the water on Earth is salty, but a small part is sweet, and is what humans can use for drinking. It is the only planet that houses life as it is now to humans. Thank you.
Good morning, teacher and student. My name is Kevin Robles, and I'm talking about Mars and Jupiter. The first planet, it is Mars. It is the second smallest planet in the solar system, second only to Mercury. Due to the lead of its axis of rotation, its expansion like Earth, that vary in the direction due to its elliptical orbit. Mars is a rocky planet, unlike that other two Larry planets. Its surface should impact Mars against other celestial bodies. Volcanism, that movement of its crust and some phenomena linked to its atmosphere, such as dust storm, have also modified its surface. Its atmosphere is very thin and tenuous, composed mainly of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon. For greater accuracy, it is composed of 96% carbon dioxide, 2% argon, 2% nitrogen, and 1% of one or more other element. It is called the red planet because of the richest coloration of its soils, caused by the oxidation of the iron minerals that make it up. Okay, I am talking about the second planet, is Jupiter. The first gaseous planet is located after the asteroid belt and is Jupiter. It is the largest planet in the solar system and the fifth in distance from the Sun. It was formed from the material that remains after the formation of the King star. It is a giant flat ball of gas with no solid surface, but probably with a solid inner core. Some scientists refer to this planet as a failed star, which did not grow enough to be classified as such. Despite its size, it is less dense than the Sun and almost 4 times less dense than the rocky planet Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Jupiter has about 59 satellites, but another 17 celestial bodies are waiting to be confirmed as satellites. Its larger satellites are Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, also called Galilean satellites in honor of their discoverer Galileo Galilei. It is similar to that of the Sun, mostly made up of hydrogen and helium, and to a lesser extent methane and ammonia.
Hello, my name is Jose. Today I will talk about Saturn and Uranus. Okay, let's first talk about Uranus. Uranus is the seventh planet from the Sun. It is the third more big and the fourth with more mass in the solar system. It was also the first discovered with a telescope by Herschel in 1781. The name Uranus is from the Greek god of sky, Urano, that means the firmament or the sky. Sometimes Uranus and Neptune are considered as the frozen giants because of their composition that is similar but in some cases different from Jupiter and Saturn. The atmosphere of Uranus is formed by hydrogen, methane, and hydrocarbons. The methane absorbs the red light, so it reflects only the blue and green tones. The rotation over itself in Uranus is 17 hours. For the orbit around the Sun, it takes 84 years. The distance between the Sun and Uranus is the double than the Earth. It's so far the Sun from Uranus that the Sun seems like another star, but only that this star shines more. Okay? This planet is visible from the Earth, but because of the distance, we can see it very well. So it doesn't shine like other stars and planets, and it moves very slowly. In the sky, for example, we can see around 5,000 of stars, and they shine more than Uranus. As the other giant planets in the solar system, Uranus have a system of rings. They are very close and are formed of dark particles. In 1977, were discovered the first 9 rings of Uranus. In the 86, the ship Voyager allowed to measure antiphoros of the rings and discover 2 more rings. Now there have been discovered 13 rings. So these are some features about Uranus. Then talk about Saturn. What about Saturn? Saturn is one of the more particular planets of the solar system. And let's describe this planet. Okay? It's a ball of gas with a mass that can have 755 Earths. This planet received the name of Saturn because of the Roman god of agriculture, Saturn. It's the most far planet from there that we can see with only the eyes. Saturn is in the group of the gaseous planets. It's the 6th planet more far from the Sun. The distance above the Sun and Saturn is 1,400 millions of kilometers. In the solar system, there is a band of asteroids. So Saturn is the 2nd planet after this band of asteroids. As Jupiter, if you try to see this planet through a telescope, we can notice dark stripes that are over a yellow background that can turn green or blue near the poles. Saturn has 53 satellites and other 9 that need to be confirmed. The biggest satellite is Titan, the second one of all the solar system. Other satellites are Llano, Atlas, Epimeteo, Prometeo, Pandora, Calypso, Dione, Helena, y Febe. The rotation of this planet is itself 10.7 hours, or the less of a half day in the Earth. The orbit around the Sun can take 29 years of the Earth. But we have not yet talked about the more special feature of these planets. What are those? The rings. Okay, let's talk about this. In 1610, the astronomer Galileo Galilei was looking at Saturn with a simple telescope, and in the view he noticed that there was 2 objects, one on each side. So then he drew Saturn with 2 little planets. So Saturn for this day were like 3 planets, 2 small and 1 big. So he thinks that were 3 planets. Then he imagines that Saturn has ribs on the side. Till 1769, the scientific Christian Huygens used a powerful telescope and affirmed that there was no ribs, there were rings. That surround Saturn, and they were inclined elliptically. So in 1675, the astronomer Jean-Dominique Cassini discovered a separation in the rings. So there were now 2 rings. And in the present, these 2 rings that he discovered are the rings A and the ring B. In 1850, George Phillips Bones said that he discovered a 3rd ring between the 2 first. And now NASA says that there are 7 rings, and each one have a width of 1 kilometer. These rings are composed of millions of ice and dust particles. So this is the Saturn description. Thank you.